Hey friends, we got another fun one for you today. Abstract name design. I will take you through step by step from start to finish, along with some little practice in the middle. I do want to point out this picture on this screen is actually done by a fifth grade student. However, this lesson is for all different levels. I've done this project with grades as young as second graders and as old as high school students. I enjoy this project. I hope you do too. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get started on our abstract name designs. The first thing you are going to do is write your name. I'm going to write my last name and your art code. After you have your name and your art code, you are going to start with the very first letter of your name. In my case, my letter is S. I'm going to do my last name. I'm going to turn my paper. And very tall, I'm going to make a giant S. So it touches the top of my paper and reaches all the way down to the bottom of the paper. Okay. What I do not want to see are tiny floating letters. Make sure your letters are super tall to touch the top and the bottom of your paper. The next step is the next letter. So what we're going to do, here's my next letter. I underlined it. I'm going to turn my paper over to the side. Now, this time I want to start at the very top of the paper and come all the way down to the letter and stop. Okay. I like to do capital letters. It's harder for me to imagine lowercase letters really tall. So I like to do my uppercase letters, all tall letters. Okay. My third letter, I'm going to turn and rotate my paper all the way this way. My third letter is an H, so I'm going to grow it super tall. I'm going to touch the top of my paper and bring it all the way down to my first letter. Nice and neat, taking my time. Okay. Fourth letter. Maybe I'll make it really tall. So I'm going to start at this top. Let's end it at my other letter. Maybe it'll come off here. All right. I have a few more letters I'm just going to fill in. And if you are done, you can just watch. I'm looking for the S to fill up the page paper. Wherever there's a giant empty spot is where I'm going to put my last letter. This spot over here looks good. Oops. Erase my mistake. And there you have an abstract name design. You can turn it any which way and find out which way you like it best. We are going to do it one more time. This side was practice. This side has our name and our art code. So we know this is practice. We're going to do it one more time by flipping our paper over and starting the same exact way. What I want you to notice is the objects and the letters that you like best on this paper, and maybe fix up some things you don't like so much. Okay? So let's try to make our S super tall this way. And then we can add in our letters any other way that we'd like. All right. So now I have two name designs. My first and my second. Your job is to figure out what side you like better. And it's okay if you like your first side better. All you have to do is just keep your paper up and trace the one side you like better. We are not going to trace both sides because the marker will go through. Trace the side you like the best. Let's talk about markers. We are going to use our Mr. Sketch smelly markers. They smell. However, instead of putting this to your nose, what I want you to do is put the cap to the nose. It still smells, and you'll still be able to enjoy the smelly marker without the polka dotted nose. The reason why we're using Mr. Sketch, let's take a look at Sharpie is what we usually use. See the difference in the point? This one is just a single point. Mr. Sketch has what we called a chisel tip. The chisel tip looks just like a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, one of my second grade friends explained to me. Um, and what we're going to do on your messy mats, you are going to practice first. So slide your artwork out of the way. A chisel tip, you can create 3 different types of line. You can do a small, a medium, and a thick line. This thick line is what we want. So when we are ready after we're done practicing, you can go ahead and use your thick side of your chisel tip. So holding it long ways. What I want you to do is start to think of your letters no longer as letters. We are just going to break them into lines. And if you notice, I keep turning and rotating my paper. It helps me get a straighter line when I do it this way. I'm going to take my time and make sure all my letters are traced. This is the most important part to be neat with. So if you feel like your pencils weren't so neat, now you have to slow down and work on being neat on the side with the marker. Okay? Here you have all of your lines traced, super neat. What you still see is some pencil lines showing up. Our job is to erase those. There should be large erasers in your caddies. But before you grab them, watch the art teacher trick. If you remember from last year, I know I shared it with you, but I will share it again because it's worth sharing. Um, if I want to erase the side of the paper, I'm not just going to go ahead and start erasing it because what happens is that my paper crinkles. What you should do instead is the hand you are not using, create an L. This is our safety L. And inside here, we know we can safely erase these pencil lines. We are taking our time, and I'm going over it several times until it lightens up. I have another spot over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to jump over here and start erasing because, okay, we don't want wrinkled paper. We're going to move our safety L, even turn your paper a bit, and erase inside your safety L. You want to look at your paper to make sure there's no pencil lines. Do you see any pencil lines anywhere else? I do. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm going to keep going until all my pencil is erased. You are going, after you think you're all done erasing your paper, ask a friend next to you. Say, hey, friend, do you see any pencil lines anywhere? Okay. And then you will help your other friend out. And you will show them where all the pencil lines are. After you and your friend agree there's no more pencil lines, you can raise your hand and say, Miss Shower, I have no more pencil lines. And I will look. All right. All right. What we are going to do to get started on our practice paper, please write your name where it says name in pencil, and then go ahead and return your pencils back where they belong. We don't want our pencils getting all chalky. So underneath where it says warm color, you are going to pick your warm colors. You may choose 2 warm colors to blend or 3 warm colors to blend. How I like to blend is I like to pick my colors out that I'm using. So I'm going to use a yellow, a red, and an orange. How I typically start is I start with one corner and I use the edges to go ahead and add the color in. This one's not working so well. Here we go. And nice and neat, trying to stay inside those lines. I go about 1/3 of the way with my darkest color, find my medium color, and go over top some of my darkest color. Bring this color down here. Taking my time to do the edges. So you notice I went up and down and then I went side to side, and then my lightest color overlapping just a bit. Taking my time to blend. When I go back over my red, I'm not happy with how it looks. Go back over. And then what you can do is you can take your paper towel and wrap it around your finger, and very carefully, you're not gonna rub every which way. You wanna try and keep the color and the pigment inside the square. So very carefully, you're gonna start to take your red and blend it into your orange. Take your orange, blend it into your yellow. Okay, here we go. Then what you're gonna do next is you're gonna walk over to the trash can and just do one gentle tap to get rid of the pigments. Okay, so here we have our warm colors blended. Same thing with the cool colors. You may pick 2 or 3 colors to blend. I like to pull my colors out before I start blending so I know what I'm working with, and then I can organize them from dark to light. Okay, I'm going to start with purple and go about 1/3 of the way since I'm doing 3 colors. Find my next darkest color, my medium color, overlap, and bring it through. And then my lightest color, overlap, and bring it through. Okay. Find a spot that does not have warm colors on it. Wrap a clean part around your finger. And again, we're not going every which way. We want to keep it inside the square. So this takes a little bit of control. And we're going to start to blend it so it looks smooth and awesome. Okay. Again, take it to the trash can and do a of those. Okay. The bottom 2 are explorations of colors. If you want to see how the warm and cool mix together, you may do that. Or if you want to find different ways to kind of blend colors, or if you're like, hey, I wonder what happens when I mix pink and purple together, the bottom 2 are for you to explore. Figure out if you like it or not. If you do like it, use it in your project. If you don't like it, no big deal, practicing and exploring. Okay, you may use your fingers if you would like, but as you can already see, my fingers are already dirty. So I don't really recommend that. I don't like the feeling of the chalk on my hand. But once you're done, let me see, and then I'll let you get started on your final project once you have your practice done. Have fun blending. Let's talk about color. What we had are our beautiful, wonderful chalk pastels. You will have these already separated for you, separated by warm and cool colors. I'm going to start with the cool colors first. The reason why we have separated between warm and cool is because we know all the warm colors will mix together beautifully, and all the cool colors will mix together beautifully. So that's why we have them separated. Now, your job is to pick an area you want to start with. Let me start with this area right inside here. See how my H, my positive space on my H, created this beautiful negative space. Your job is to color in all the white negative space between your letters. So in order to use our chalk pastels, you can start to color almost like a crayon, going in the same direction, super neat, taking your time. I'm going to go about halfway with this beautiful purple, and then I'm going to blend with my next color. I think I'm going to pick this teal color. I am going to start on the other side, going in the same direction until it reaches that purple, and I'm going to slightly overlap my purple. I want to make sure all the white's kind of covered up and filled. All right, so here we have our blending. Our next step, we are going to need to blend. You may use a paper towel, that way we don't get dirty. I just put my finger through this paper towel, and I'm going to use the paper towel to help me blend my colors together. Creates this really cool effect. Okay, see, that would have gotten on my finger. And now it's cleaned. Well, sort of. All right, and what you have is a bunch of dust. Now, I do not want you to take this up and blow it everywhere. Your job is to take it over to the trash can and gently tap it into the trash can, and you have a clean paper. Okay, you're going to continue on with whatever colors are at your station. If you have the cool colors, add a few more of cool colors. We will switch next art lesson, okay? Have fun coloring. I have gone ahead and mixed 3 warm colors together. Now you can mix 3 cool colors together as well. It just instead of doing half and half, you do 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, just like this. So I did a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow, and a little bit of orange. I do want to tell you that instead of using the cool color paper towel, you're going to find a clean spot on your paper towel and blend it that way. Okay, you blend down to the darker color and mix it. Okay, so you remember your job is to walk over to the trash can and essentially clean it off. Or you can wipe it down. It all disappears anyway.
If you enjoyed this lesson, I'd love to see your results. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for more art fun. Keep creating, y'all.